Toasty program, the cereal that can't be beaten, but can be eaten. Featuring Greg Sherman, radio detective, in the real-life thriller, Crimes the Police Couldn't Solve. The case of the red-haired heiress, front-page news for weeks, has so far baffled the commissioner and his police. Greg Sherman will return to the
microphone. That radio jerk is making me the laughing stock of this city.
That's right. Sherman speaking. If the red-haired heiress had been shot in close struggle with a mythical masked bandit, there would have been powder burns. I say she was taken unaware, shot from a distance. An inside job. Now, she had a chauffeur. They took out a marriage license 3 days before she discharged him. Now, it isn't the hunting season, so why should Henry Connery buy a gun the next day from a certain pawn shop on Z Street?
Am I dumb? I hocked my watch there only last week.
So, Commissioner, if you and the boys want your murderer, check a hotel at 5th and Oak. You'd better hurry. I imagine he's packing. Henry, remember, it's people like you and Roasty Toasties that keep me on the air. So please, on your way out of town, stop at every grocery and ask for a package of Roasty Toasties. Don't forget to save the box tops. We give guns away at Christmas. Next week, I'll bring you another crime the police couldn't solve.
That's the firecracker that's going to shoot us right out of our jobs.
Yeah. Maybe we ought to boycott his sponsor's product. That would teach him a lesson.
That would be peachy. I can see the headlines now. Police sulk, won't eat their Roasty Toasties. I got it. We'll pin something on Sherman. Spitting on the sidewalk. Anything, everything. We can keep heckling him. We'll get in his hair so often, he'll stay out of mind. But first, we've got to hold him so he misses his next broadcast. Cassidy!
Oh, no, not me, Chief. Please bush me, put me back in the sticks, anything, but don't make me tail Sherman.
You've got it coming. The way you bunga that Wickersham case. You reported the scars on the old man's hand came from snake bites. But Sherman proved the Victrola needle was poison.
And I played the Victrola with that needle for an hour waiting for the coroner. I ain't been well since. That's why I'm leaving on my vacation tomorrow.
No, that's why you're going to start working tonight. I don't care what you get on him, but bring him in.
Gilbert and Sullivan was right when they wrote a policeman's lot. It's not a happy one.
Mommy, why do you have to go to the hospital? Your sister's having a baby.
You know how jittery Helen is.
Don't like to go off without you.
I don't either. I know you don't, you lamb.
Can't we drop you at the hospital?
Other end of town. I'll take a cab. Uh-oh. Better wipe my silly smile off your face.
Thanks, Mommy.
Now run along and don't have too good a time.
All right. Come on, gang.
Will you call me a uncomfortable cab? I'm worried about a dark horse, and I don't want to relax.
Mommy, wake up. My head feels like it's full of rocks. Mommy, I'm lonesome. Oh, Mommy. Hey, wake up. Wake up, do you hear? You got me in a fine fit.
Good morning, Mr. Clark and Missy Beth. Not Missy Beth. Who is she?
Never saw her before in my life. She's dead. She's been stabbed.
Ah, Just like a radio program, episode number 7. Strange lady killed in gentleman's apartment. Who done it?
He's untrue, Grandmother Warren.
Well, that's the most welcome catastrophe that ever descended on us. I warned you against eloping with that microphone microbe. You so-called moderns. You marry so quickly you don't know your married name until you look at your divorce.
Divorce? That's what I'll do. Oh, Cassidy, well, you're going to be a witness in a divorce case.
I catch. Unknown blonde with somebody's husband.
Known brunette with my husband.
Mrs. Sherman, don't let's even wait for the elevator.
Murder, very inconsiderate. Not leave clue or identification.
Those are stripped clean, too.
Oh, too bad kill beautiful lady when so many ugly ones in the world.
We gotta move fast. That certain lady is no good luck charm.
You like me call police?
Not till I call my lawyer.
Oh, lawyer, make good suspect. Never know what talking about.
Cassidy. Well, hello, chum. What brings you here this early in the morning?
I did.
Yeah, she'd heard I'd taken up interior decorating and thought I should see the bedroom.
Now, wait a minute, Cassidy. You don't want to go in there. The beds aren't made.
It's hard to make beds with people in them. I'll take care of this coast-to-coast chiseler.
Don't go in there, Mummy. I'm in trouble.
You're telling me. And don't call me Mummy.
Now, wait a minute.
Who is she?
I don't know who she is or how she got in my wife's bed or when.
You're a slippery one, all right.
You don't think I killed her? Well, you certainly don't, do you?
Don't say nothing, Mrs. Sherman. I'm holding you as a material witness. I gotta call the commissioner, so don't move.
I couldn't if I wanted to.
Looks like that Radio Dick halo you've been wearing has dropped 6 inches to a noose.
Hey, now, wait a minute. You can't do this to me. I got a broadcast Wednesday.
You had a broadcast. Where's the phone?
Living room. Oh, you nice detective.
Are you kidding me?
No one kid cops but my master.
Ah.
So we really got him.
Gee, I'm glad you're happy. I thought you were mad at me this morning, and I was so blue.
Mad? Nah, I'd do anything for you.
Planting that corpse was a great idea.
Sensational, pal.
And the paper knife made it look real. How'd you ever think of that?
Huh?
After I bring him in, I'll return the corpse. Which morgue?
You ought to know the morgue you got her from.
Well, quit kidding, pal. You planted that girl, didn't you? Didn't you?
No, you lame brain. That's no gag. It's murder.
Murder.
Come on, hurry up the kitchen.
Too late.
So you'd even bump up a woman for a radio program.
Lieutenant, there are some times when we must do things we don't like to do.
Oh! Afu, take over.
Wait a minute. What's the idea of playing games?
Always practice jiu-jitsu before breakfast. Not hungry yet.
I'll never complain about an upper berth again.
Fine business resisting an officer.
I brought him in, so I just had to get you out.
Catch me, I'll probably get 30 days.
I warned you. Oh, Greg, it's all so simple. Just like my chicken salad murder, which Dashiell Hammett, possibly being a vegetarian, didn't like. The chef poisoned my hero because he complained about the food. See? The motive was revenge.
Mommy, you don't look for a motive till you find out who is it.
That's simple, too. The corpse was a friend of the Wiltons. Can't get in touch with Alta. She's away. We'll call Dr. Hillary. I have the number of his mountain lodge someplace in my bag. You know, you're really lucky I'm letting you work with me on this.
She's ringing. Maybe the doctor isn't at home.
Maybe he's the murderer.
He looks too much like one. It's always the fellow you least suspect. Oh, is Dr. Hillary Wilton at home?
You can reach the doctor here at lunchtime. You look tired, Doctor.
Matty, if only I could find the virus. I thought after all that research I'd... But I'll get it. I've got to.
Where did you get that hat? It not only doesn't fit you, but you never wear that shade of blue.
Heavens, no. No more than you'd wear a red tie. Can't be Alice. She hates large hats. Must be the corpses.
Does Pierre mean anything to you?
Does it? Saxe speaks only to Pierre, and Pierre speaks only to...
St. Peter. I'll settle for Pierre's.
Was bought by...
Miss Kendall, we never give information regarding our customers. If you were not new here, you'd know that.
Yes, sir.
Will that be all?
No, my wife would like to buy a hat, but she insists that you wait on her.
Oh, yes, of course. After all, there is only one Pierre. Right this way, please.
No, get the Santa Claus bag.
Her card's in the D's.
Just matches your eyes, and you do have the loveliest eyes. Oh, my dear madam, you have my creation on backward.
How's this?
Perfect if you're looking for a gas mask.
Is this better? Oh, dear, I have the most terrible time without my three maids. Would you mind trying it on for me?
Certainly. Anything to do justice to my creation.
Oh, that's lovely, Pierre.
Isn't it?
Oh, let me see if I can get the same effect.
Of course you can.
No, it's not the same effect. Have you scissors?
Oh, yes, of course.
Feathers are so unfashionable this year. And ribbons. Why, Pierre. Oh, now that's better. I think just a little bit more off here. You don't mind?
Oh, certainly not. It's your hat.
I don't think I'll take it. I'll find something much nicer in Macy's basement.
Miss Kendall, everybody, water, champagne.
Yeah.
I'm fainting. Oh.
Pierre. Who is she?
Miss Evelyn Dennis, Suite 402, the Abbey Garth Hotel.
Did anybody see us come in?
Nobody ever sees you in mystery stories. As a writer, you should know that.
The door's locked.
It always is. You should know that, too.
Fast thinking.
Praise from the master, etc.
Neat little nest.
The landlord doesn't know it yet, but it's for rent. Evelyn Dennis was pretty cagey. No diary, not even an incriminating letter for a clue.
Nice. Oh, look. Emeralds. Real. How do you like me now?
Mommy, I love you all the time. But being so near to you, and with that perfume on, well, I get stars in my eyes.
Oh, Greg.
Mommy, I'm knee-deep in murder. And if I don't solve it before Wednesday... Hey, put the emeralds back.
Oh, but Greg, she won't need them
Put them
anymore.
back. And go in the living room and play the radio or something. I gotta think.
Well, I can't think with the radio on.
Well, it's my turn now.
If this is a clue, it's on me.
And that's the latest news from Europe. Stay tuned to this station
I
for
think you found
further
something here,
bulletins.
Mommy. Forgive?
Flash. By means of dental work, the body of the beautiful brunette murdered by a paper knife in the Lafayette Arms has been positively identified as Joan Adams, the former actress living at the Children Hotel on 34th
That's a pretty
Street.
name.
Yeah, but we're in Evelyn Dennis's apartment. Let's get out of here before you get
Police
arrested
are
for
searching for
housebreaking.
Greg Sherman, famous radio detective, who disappeared after the body was found by...
Cassidy. Come on, Mommy, let's move, and fast. What is it?
Oh, pardon me, Mr. Miller. I didn't know anyone was in. Here's that package you ordered.
Thanks.
Oh, thank you.
Why, Mr. Miller. And my favorite champagne, too.
No time for cracks. Come on.
Just a minute. Evelyn Dennis, huh? Miss Dennis, I hereby present you with this summons to appear in Judge Oliver Blake's court in the morning of Friday next at 10 a.m. or be cited for contempt of court. I thought for a minute you was going to deny it. Me seeing you come out of your apartment, too. Say, I'm so clever I'm going after that Sherman guy's job on the radio. Well, good day to the both of you.
It's a good thing I don't broadcast on television. The only picture I ever had taken was that wedding picture your grandmother has.
What do we do with this?
Just so our erstwhile hostess knows who's suing who.
A beautiful hat clue, all shot. Well, what now, Gius?
Back to Lafayette Arms. The housekeeper said the police had called Dr. Wilton about the murder and that he was returning to his apartment. We've got to get to him before they do.
That's really the scene of the crime, where the murderer always returns.
Well, we'll go to our own apartment. We can watch from there.
Solving murders isn't as easy as it sounds on the radio.
Not by a kilowatt. I'm so hungry I could even eat roasty toasties and enjoy indigestion.
Wish I'd taken up mountain climbing as a child. Those back stairs were terrific.
Half as bad as these paint fumes.
Be it ever so jumbled, there's no place like home.
Oh, Angel's voice sound like Master's. Is Master.
Oh, cut it out.
Just like a radio program, episode number 1, Case of Hidden Hand. Smart lady or did not suspect.
I suspect you better make yourself useful and go and see if Dr. Wilton comes into his apartment while I drink my lunch.
How long does one live after your heart stops beating?
Mrs. Wilson, come down the hall.
Alta.
Hello, Greg. Where's Ben? Oh, there you are, darling. I'm terribly sorry to be home ahead of schedule, but you know I had the most atrocious time. Best way to lose your friends is to be cooped up with them. And then the captain was so seasick, he made the yacht do a rumor, and it was time for all ashore who could get ashore. Hangover, dear? Oh, well, it must be the fumes of this ghastly paint. Well, my bags are still down in the hall, so I'll just run out to her, tell her till your place is finished. Well, what are you two both looking so solemn about?
Alden, do you know Joan Adams?
Ever since we were in high school? Why?
Dr. Wilton just come from apartment.
Hillary home? Why?
I'm sorry I can't be of more help to you, Lieutenant. If you need me again, you'll find me at my laboratory.
Okay, the commissioner wants me to stick here, but Sherman ain't got much chance of getting back with the building surrounded.
Dr. Wilton.
Hello, Sherman.
I want to talk to you inside.
The police said you were living in our apartment.
Hillary, did you say police?
Unfortunately, yes.
Don't you know?
No, what?
Joan Adams was murdered last night. And in your bed.
Oh, smelling salts.
Water. Guaranteed blink to double quick.
Oh, that won't help now. Her heart's bad. The shock of losing her best friend. I'll give her a heart stimulant. She'll be all right after a day or two in bed.
Well, you can't take her back to that bed.
No. Regaining consciousness there would...
You better take her to a hospital.
That's an excellent idea. I'll call the hospital now.
What's the three-letter word for policeman?
Search me. If I was that smart, I wouldn't be a cop.
Cop, that's it. Yes, sir? That call came from the Sherman apartment.
Master right about phone call. Almost see whites of eyes. Can shoot?
Sure, I'm not in enough trouble. Come on, fire escape.
Oh, with every lease should go a parachute.
Come on.
Cassidy, know you are in building. Come down this hall now. Suggest very quick scram. This way.
It's dark in here.
How about the love light in my eyes? Try again.
Yeah, tell Cassidy I'm here.
Oh, I catch a pain in episode 2.
You know, Greg, I am worried about Alta. But if you think I'm not serious enough about you, it's because I know you didn't kill that girl.
Yeah, well, everybody else thinks I did. I'll have a fine time proving different locked up. Uh-oh.
We're cut off.
At every exit.
Don't get it hold.
If that has anything to do with getting us out of here, I'm in favor of it. I mean, who do you suppose killed Joan Adams?
Oh, here's our laundry.
Why was she killed?
The stuff we had in the Wilton apartment. Our fool must have...
Oh, Beth, I don't care a who about our laundry.
I do. What does J.A. mean?
Joan Adams. She probably dropped it in the apartment. So what?
So here's another exactly like it. Initials E.D. Catch on?
Evelyn Dennis.
The same perfume's on both. Remember at the Abbey Garth? You liked it.
Joan Adams is probably her stage name.
Right, genius. And you laughed at my ability for years.
Forgive?
Forgive.
Now, why should she have 2 apartments, each under a different name?
Well, maybe Joan Adams or Evelyn Dennis had 2 admirers and didn't want one to know about the other.
Right, Sherlock. One of them got wise, she hid in the Wilton apartment, and he followed.
And proved the paper knives can be used for more than cutting paper.
Mr. Miller!
The man with the champagne.
The man in the photograph.
Mr. Charles Miller. I take photograph out of pocket when not looking. Suggest we find certain Mr. Miller before truck run out of gas and smart China boy out of ideas.
I can't tell you where I am. I just want to know one thing. Are Evelyn Dennis and Joan Adams the same person?
My girl just checked in an old stage who's who. Adams was a professional name. Look, Greg, Lilac's giving us till Wednesday afternoon. He's mad enough to cut his time in half and book midgets. Maybe you will solve it, but I gotta see you. What do you mean you can't take chances? Hello. Miss Bruns, pack a lunch of sea breeze and clouds. I'm going on a picnic with the Invisible Man.
5 pages of Millers, and 3 are Charles Millers.
Yeah, but that man had pretty good taste in apartments.
Oh, I'm way ahead of you. You can't have a Miller from the wrong side of the tracks.
Right.
You go your half, and I'll get my man.
Now remember, Mummy, the Charles Miller may be the murderer. If you find him,
He'll stop when he sees the red light in my eyes. But keep checking with me at Grandmother's.
I'd rather face the killer.
Mr. Miller's in the bar. This way, please. That's him, sir.
Well, good night.
Goodbye, Mr. Miller.
I'll take care of that for you.
Thanks, Mr. Miller.
Mr. Miller?
Yes?
I'd like to talk to you about a certain lady.
You're covering a lot of territory, aren't you?
Evelyn Dennis.
Miss Dennis? Yes, of course. Charming girl. How about a drink?
Thanks. Bourbon and soda.
Make mine a dry martini. Miss Dennis is quite attractive, don't you think? How is she? I haven't seen her lately. Matter of fact, I just know her slightly.
Slightly? That champagne you ordered at the Abbey Garth was delivered okay. By the way, you have the same excellent taste in wines as you have in brunettes. Unfortunately, she was too careful. She left no incriminating letters.
Henry, I said dry martini, not all vermouth. Just what is it you want?
I want to know where you were between 1:30 and 2 o'clock this morning.
You'll excuse me if I seem rude, but I don't see why my whereabouts should concern you.
Because between 1:30 and 2 o'clock, Evelyn Dennis was murdered.
Murdered?
Stabbed in the back.
I can't believe it.
Well, it's been on the radio and in the papers all day.
Well, I wouldn't know. I've only just returned from out of town.
Of course, you knew Evelyn Dennis used the name Joan Adams when she was on the stage.
No, I didn't even know she'd been on the stage. I've only just met her recently and knew her only as Miss Dennis.
But you knew she had a second apartment.
Another apartment? Why would she do that?
Possibly because of the other man. If you both happened to drop into the Abbey Garth at the same time, she might have found the meeting a bit embarrassing.
Are you the police?
No. But I'm a lot more interested right now, professionally.
Well, I'm afraid I can't be of much help. You'll excuse me. I'll go to my room.
Boy, take my bags to my car, will you, please?
Yes.
Pick up my transportation at the desk for the 8 o'clock plane.
Right. Oh, sorry.
Follow that car.
No one admitted with that formal dress.
Listen, I'm going in there.
Yeah.
I said formal dress.
I thought they acted kind of peculiar. Then when I heard the radio a little while ago...
But you didn't see them after you drove them back to the Lafayette Arms?
No, sir. I was out front an hour. They was good fare.
All right, son.
That's all.
You haven't even brought in this much. The city's finest. The city's dumbest.
Now, how can we find Sherman when we don't know what he looks like? There ain't no pictures. And besides, Cassidy is the only
Don't mention that lame brain to me. Ah, a social caller. You're too late for dinner and too early for breakfast. Get out!
Okay, Commissioner, but here's a picture of Sherman I got from Mrs. Sherman's grandmother.
What's torn off?
The girl, you was only interested in Sherman.
She's with him. Didn't you ever hear Sachet La Femme?
No. Where's the plane?
Skip it. Have copies made immediately for all the force. Now, he can't go home. He can't get to his car. So give his description to all taxi drivers. We'll double the reward. I'll get that Sherman or start selling brushes from house to house.
My wife will take one.
Thanks.
Oh, Grandma Warren. You've spoiled our beautiful wedding picture.
I consider it my duty and pleasure to contribute anything detrimental to that kilowatt killer. He's completely insane. The last time he called up, he said he'd just ordered 3 new cars, a country estate, a yacht, and 4 life insurance policies.
The Millers must have talked faster than he did.
When the police find him, you can use that insurance.
Oh, Grandma.
Greg, if he comes here, I'll lock up the silver.
Yes? You found him.
I don't know where you'll get him, but tell Afu to bring me some evening clothes right away to Maxime's.
Oh, my clothes? Maxime's?
I knew he was mad. Murders a woman and wants to dress up and go dancing.
Where are they?
Here, genius.
You shouldn't have come, Mummy.
I left you alone last night, and look what happened. Howdy, Grandpa Warren.
Howdy, Grandma.
She sure hated to give up that suit. It's all she has left to remember Grandpa by.
This guy's very good. Even fool smart China boy.
You know, if we make any more quick changes, we can go into vaudeville.
They sure look young for their age.
The thrill that lies within a little kiss, even more than this, joys I never knew. I've learned them all from you. From you. I've learned the happiness that love alone can bring. Every little thing that I say.
When you get to a handkerchief, a dime, and a key, that's all there is, light fingers.
Mr. Sherman, I ain't seen you since I stooled for you on the Wickersham case. Oh, excuse me, ma'am. The fingers kind of keep getting the old itch.
Lovely friends we have, darling. Maybe he could filch me a mink coat.
You know a guy named Reese?
Reese? Well, sure, I worked for him since him and me turned honest. He owns a joint. You want I should take you to him? His office is right down that hall there.
No, we'll find him ourselves.
Table for 2.
No, thanks. We'd like to see Rita and Ronaldo first, old friends of ours.
The corridor to the right, sir. Dressing room 3.
Thank you.
Say, did you call that fella, Sherman? Yeah, and he's a swell guy. Get me the police.
Maybe there's a secret panel and we'll drop into a pit.
I like to meet people after they knock.
I see you've already met Miller.
Hold that, Skybo.
Mob lingo for gun.
Come in.
I know all the tricks. Oh, you poor man. Did he shoot you?
No, lady, I got this shaving.
You'll be okay, Reese. The next time, use a safety razor.
Thanks, Doc. Buy yourself a drink.
A C-note? You sure must be thirsty.
In the corner, John.
John, I thought all gangsters were named Trigger or Spider.
What do you know about Miller?
That's what I was going to ask you.
I never saw the bird before, till he took a pot shot at me and beat it.
He was a good friend of Joan Adams.
For your information, Joni didn't have any good friends except me.
Oh, yes, she did. She had another apartment at the Abbey Garth as Evelyn Dennis, where Mr. Miller was a frequent visitor.
Is that right? A dirty little two-timer. I'm glad she was bumped off. Played me for a chump, huh? Say, who are you? And why the trick get-up?
Greg Sherman.
Oh, the radio detective, huh? Did you do it?
No, I wouldn't be walking in here if I had. I thought it was Miller, and he evidently thought it was you.
Well, I'm sorry to disappoint you, but I didn't kill Joni. Maybe I should have. But I was right here in this office till 2:30, and I can prove it. What is it?
Cassidy just come in with some buttons, and from the sound of their conversation, they ain't looking for no table.
All right, through here.
See? He has a secret panel. Now the pit.
Thanks, Gracie. Someone's coming down the hall.
If it's the bellboy with more champagne, here's where we came in.
It could be Cassidy. What's the matter? You shot?
I'm either dead or somebody's holding my feet to the floor.
It's Miller.
Who was the other person?
Well, we'll find out if we go in there.
Huh?
You want to play detective? I thought I heard it lock. We'll have to break it down. What are you knocking for? Do you expect him to open the door? Here, give me that. Hold this. You all right, Sherlock?
Oh, fine.
That was me. Finger twitched.
sound as though you were under an oxygen tank.
I wish I were.
It's only the wind. There's nobody on the fire escape or in the alley below. There's our answer. The wise girl had a side entrance.
You mean the way the murderer went?
Maybe we can catch up with him or her if we hurry.
You hurry. I'll slow down. When I get my breath, is it polite to ask where we're going, or is that just yours and Afu's secret?
Maxine's.
You don't think Reese killed Miller?
I do.
That lovely gangster that let us escape?
Yeah, after we played saps and told him everything he wanted to know. He figured Miller would go back to Abbey Garth and destroy all the evidence against him.
Just goes to prove that when a man makes another man jealous, he gets a bad temper.
Not to mention a 38.
Extra! Reese arrested! Reese held by D.A. Piper! Extra!
Hey, Afu, get me an extra.
China boy always anticipate master's wants.
What does it say?
It's too dark. I can't read anything but the headlines.
The cops must have caught Reese coming out of the Abbey Garth.
If those dopes in blue are working that fast now, there'll be no radio program.
Stop by light. Can leave now. Be very interested.
Discovered 2 hours ago with a fresh bullet wound in his arm, for which he refused to give explanation. Reese was arrested and held for further questioning by the district attorney.
Arrested 2 hours ago. Then he couldn't have killed Miller.
Well, who was in that bedroom?
Great kernels of wheat. Sherman's done it again. Why does he have to run around killing strangers? Oh, I'd gladly sacrifice my life if he'd broadcast first tonight. Oh, am I unhappy.
The radio station called, Mr. Lannick. They're canceling your time if you don't tell them what you're going to do tonight.
What am I going to do?
The office is still filled with those acts that gave auditions. It's only 5 o'clock. Greg will come through.
Quiet, peasant. What am I going to do? I'm going to put them all on, including the animal acts. Only I won't be there to see the massacre.
My sister will never forgive me for neglecting her so long.
Almost at St. Albans Hospital.
Darling, Helen's at the physician's hospital.
Yes, but we're going to St. Albans.
But I've told you, it's quite impossible to see Mrs. Wilton. She's in a serious condition, and Dr. Wilton has forbidden all visitors.
Well, is Dr. Wilton here? I'd like to speak to him.
Yes.
How did you know Alda was here?
I remembered the phone call from the apartment.
Genius, you're terrific. I am glad you're working with me.
I'm trying to locate an intern, Mr. Welborn.
Detective Lieutenant Cassidy to see Dr. Wilton. Official business.
Lieutenant Cassidy, Doctor.
I thought you said a man and woman to see.
I ran into something important, Doctor. Oh, Doctor. The watchman found this emerald necklace in the switch box of your apartment building.
Our apartment? Those emeralds were at the Abbey Garth.
What's that to do with me?
Well, I figured the Adams girl was killed by a burglar who got scared, hid it, picked it up later. Nobody in the Lafayette Arms reported any missing jewels.
But that's not my wife's.
You see, it belongs to the Adams girl. What was? Now, just identify, will you? Then all I got to do is buy some new art supporters and find the burglar.
I couldn't do that. You see, I only knew Miss Adams slightly.
Well, how about the missus? They was bosom friends, you said.
Oh, Mrs. Wilton's far too ill to be disturbed. In fact, if you'll excuse me, Lieutenant, I must be getting back to her.
Yeah, but, Doctor, I got to find out about it.
Yes, but my wife's health is far more important than an emerald necklace. You'll understand. Good night, Lieutenant.
No, I don't understand, but good night, Doctor.
Now's your chance, Sherlock. Delay Dr. Wilton as long as you can.
Oh, Dr. Hillary.
Mrs. Sherman, what are you doing here?
I'm ill, dying. Look.
Well, that's perfect, my dear. There's nothing wrong with you.
Doctor. Doctor, I have a fever.
Doctor? Oh, you must be the new intern. Dr. McEwen wants you to go to patient 202 and remove the stitches.
But I,
Don't be nervous, Doctor. Poor Mr. Welburn's been operated on so many times, this is all the fun he has.
Well, why don't you give him a big time and put in a zipper?
Well, could you suggest someone who'd be able to... Oh, I've really got them.
She's gone.
So have my hiccups.
Hello, Doctor. I just dropped in to have a chat with your wife.
She's not here. What are you doing in that cook's jacket when we have nothing here to cook?
I can't understand it. She was here just now when I was called downstairs.
You sure about that? Why don't you stop covering up for your wife and tell us the truth?
What do you mean?
Greg, that's rude.
I was dumb, not realizing that phony feint Alta pulled was merely a smart way of avoiding questions.
Are you suggesting my wife killed her best friend?
Alta killed Joan Adams. Why, I don't know. She also killed Charles Miller last night at the Abbey Garth when she went there to steal that necklace.
That's ridiculous. Alta in the same room with me and not saying hello.
That's why you refused to see visitors. Why you stayed so close to the room so no one would know she was gone.
Oh, there's no use pretending. Alta did disappear from here last night. But she's been mentally ill for a long time. One of her delusions was that Miss Adams was in love with me. She grew so insanely jealous that she even doubted my fidelity, telling us both she was going on this yachting trip. She watched the Abbey Garth to see if I went there. Well, of course I didn't, but you can't convince a tortured mind. When Alta saw Miss Adams come to our apartment, she thought it was to keep a rendezvous with me. Well, the rest you know. She confessed during a rational spell when I first brought her here.
Must have hit you pretty hard.
Well, yes, it did. But I loved Alta, and I tried to protect her, even though murder was involved. But now, well, now she's gone.
Oh, don't you worry. You can come and live with us. I'll take care of you.
My compliments, Doctor. Even Barrymore couldn't have put on a better act. Alta hasn't gone.
Alta, you come right in all that night air. Oh, I forgot she's a murderess.
She's no murderess. And she can't come in because I carried her there 5 minutes ago, unconscious. You fell into my trap because you thought Alta had come out of her coma and escaped. You didn't bring Alta here to protect her, but to protect you. You kept her doped with narcotics so she couldn't talk. That's why you gave her that hypodermic when she fainted. She knew you killed Joan Adams.
Why would he kill Joan Adams?
Because he thought that woman in bed was his wife.
I did intend to kill Alta.
And I asked him to come and live with us.
My wife was untrue. I put detectives on her trail. And when they gave me the report of this supposed yachting trip, on the eve of my greatest discovery in medicine, I loved my wife. But she was torturing me, ruining my work, destroying my contribution to mankind. Soon, my antitoxin will do great things. It'll destroy germs in the human body instantly. But unfortunately, in its present form, it's deadly poison.
Well, can't you do something?
We don't know how to treat her until the chemist finds out what type poison it is.
Well, tell him to hurry, please.
It's too late.
Oh, Mommy. Mommy, please don't die. I'll get you that mink coat. I'll get you 3 mink coats.
I'm getting numb. I can't see you. Greg, where are you?
Doctor.
I'm not a doctor.
And this is not poison, distilled water.
Huh?
Wilton did it to escape.
Your voice is getting fainter. Goodbye, darling.
Mama, you're all right. It was nothing but water.
What? Why doesn't somebody tell me these things?
Well, we got 15 minutes to get to the broadcasting station.
You'll find an odd woman on the porch. She won't talk back when spoken to.
But I know Greg will show from somewhere. You gotta wait.
The air never waits. Mr. Landeck has the program all set. What a program. The only thing we're missing is Mrs. O'Leary's cow.
Well, Greg can't do this to me. I got 10% of a year's contract.
Ha! Lucky you, I only got 40 seconds.
I've asked you a million times. How did you know it was Wilton?
Roasty Toasties is going to pay me to tell that.
These doors are locked. Oh, hello, Mr. Sherman. Come in, please.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. You're listening to station XOM.
The Roasty Toasties program, the cereal that can't be eaten but can be beaten. Vice versa. Greg Sherman speaking. You surprised?
Get me out of here.
Murder not only knocked on my door, it moved in with me and followed me around. Evelyn Dennis, also known as Joan Adams, was killed by accident.
So now he's trying to pull an alibi.
The innocent victim of a murder so clever that only one small detail kept it from being the perfect crime. The killer stole an emerald necklace from Joan Adams' apartment and hid it in a switch box in the hotel where her body was found to make the motive look like robbery.
Even Cassidy knew that much.
But emeralds are green, and Joan Adams wore a blue hat the night she was murdered. No woman would combine those two colors. Now, a man might not think of that. A woman should have. Our confessed killer is a man. His name is... The killer is Dr. Hillary Wilton.
Get out of the way.
Decode, China boy, decode.
Chinese almonds to you.
As usual, the police arrived on the scene after the killer had been captured.
I hope. We'll accept that extra bonus.
Okay.
Mr. Greg Sherman?
Yes?
$4,500 for 3 mink coats. COD.
Well, darling, it was your idea. Next Monday night at the same time, you'll hear from Beth and Greg Sherman, radio detectives and crimes the police couldn't solve. And if no one commits one by that time, we really will. Good night, everybody.